Hi everybody, I'm Tara from Crooked Row, and today we're going to talk about putting up our tomatoes. Now we're kind of at the end of the year, and so if you can zoom around me, you see that our corn is kind of browning out. We have the beautiful sunflowers behind me. I love it. The pollinators are going crazy, and I'm going to turn this around so that you can see it. It's just too cute. There are 3 bumbles on that sunflower. You just can't see the third one because it's hidden by the lip of it. There was a little bumblebee just a second ago. There it is. That keeps kind of nipping the flower. It's cute. We also have some down there. It's kind of blocked out by weeds. Everything has grown up so much. Let's look at this one that is actually right next to me. And I love these because they have lots of flowers, all that is going to bloom all down this stalk. It's not going to be one flower. Isn't that fantastic? Oh, so we have some down there. There's a line of them right in the back of this row. We also, in our original corn rows, you can see right here, we have a whole line of them, but that tree is in the way. I don't know if you can see that. So great. So we are collecting tomatoes at this point. Not all of them. We leave them on as long as we can, really until they freeze on the vine. Or that froze, or that a hard frost is coming, and then we'll come and get them. But you are going to see, especially as we walk down the tunnel, and then there's another place in the garden that has lots of tomatoes too. But what we do is we come in and we grab the tomatoes that are red, as you can see right here. There is a red tomato behind me, and there are several ones that are like orange back here. We take those and we put them into brown paper bags. This is where my Aldi bags come into use again. But we put them in Aldi paper bags, and the paper bag lets them breathe, one, keeps the bugs off of them, two, but then so tomatoes produce ethylene, and when they do that, that's actually what causes that red ripeness. In the grocery store, they spray their tomatoes with ethylene, which does not have the same effect because it keeps the insides not ripe and makes it look like it's ripe on the outside. But these happen naturally, so it also helps keep you from getting cracked tomatoes, which I don't mind cracked tomatoes because heirloom tomatoes are pretty infamous for cracking. But what I don't like is that gnats and other bugs kind of get into it. Sometimes it like draws in animals as they're on the vine. So I like to I'm going to turn the camera around. Sorry. I'm going to turn the camera around and I'm going to show you. I'm just going to walk down the lines and show you which ones we're picking. We're going to harvest right now. As you can see, we're at my marigolds, and they definitely need deadheaded. But buddy, I didn't even, this was like a one-off. I did not get these big ones. I got tiny ones that were only supposed to be like 6 inches tall, but apparently another type of marigold here and another marigold here are just the huge ones. Thank you, Missy. And so anyway, I just kind of, I hate the smell of marigolds, but I love marigolds in the garden. So this one's pretty ripe. I'm just going to pull that off, put that down in my basket that my father-in-law got me. Now here's a good one to show because this has color on it. You can still see that there's even like little stripies of green. These are paste tomatoes. These are Amish paste tomatoes. We also grew San Marzano this year, and while I like San Marzano, they're about half this big. So if you're looking for size, Amish paste are the way to go. San Marzano, though, does have a great flavor. So does Amish paste, but they're just different. So I'm going to take that off. Here is a big beefsteak, and it is, I mean, you can tell it's like trying to ripen, and I could take that off. The reason why I'm going to is because we have lost so much produce this year to the chickens. They have literally been the destroyer of our garden this year. But I just wanted to show you how we have this big beefsteak tomato, no cracking, looks beautiful. And then I'll put this in the paper bags in a little bit. So this one could be taken, but I would really rather it be a little more orange. And we do have a few more warm days. It's the nights I really worry about, but that in the next day or two should be good and ripe. Sorry, I had to make a pit stop over in the corn and pick some of the corn. I've got a basket full of corn, not full of corn, but maybe half full. Now we're gonna sneak in among the plum trees. I haven't even been over here, so I don't really know. But, ooh, looks like animals have really picked these clean. I'm going to turn the camera around so that you can see. So these were loaded with green tomatoes. So something has definitely gotten in here. But I still see traces. These are all San Marzanos or bumblebee tomatoes. Which, yep, look. And that doesn't exactly look hollowed out. That might be a groundhog. So this one is full of green tomatoes. If you look beyond the leaves, there's a few orange ones that I'm going to grab. I think there's another one. Got it. A little orange. Okay. Ooh, I see a bunch over here. Sorry, Elijah. Let me refocus. Okay. So I'm just going to pick out the ones that are turning. Okay. Now, we are at, these are good ones. I love this. You know, I'm kind of wondering if these are, by mistake, are Amish paste tomatoes. They could be. Although these are pretty little. My Amish paste get pretty big. I mean, we are known to have like 1 pound Amish paste tomatoes. So, okay, well, don't make fun of me, but as soon as I put the camera down, I collected 2 big pocketfuls of bumblebee tomatoes. I'm getting ready to empty out in my basket. And there's so many tomatoes that I'm actually going to have to take the basket all the way down the line. Once I got down there, though, I started looking over into the cornfield and realized there was all this corn that I had to harvest. So I just had Sayla and Jed help me and Chris help me, didn't I? Yeah. And so we're collecting corn right now too, but I'm going to go back through the row right now and I'm going to grab the tomatoes. I really don't want to damage. Oh, and then I just nailed it. Let me get the other pocket.
Your pockets are huge.
Aren't they? Okay, we're back at the table and this is right outside the house, and I have brought all of my paper bags outside. I actually stick my tomatoes in a single layer and just leave them in the house. It stays about, I don't know, what, 75 in our house, especially right now. So this is a bowl full of tomatoes. See how red and beautiful those are? We picked those exactly as we did these ones today. And so you can totally go and pick your tomatoes like this and then have beautiful red ripe tomatoes to do your canning, fresh eating, freezing, whatever you're doing with it. If you have wind, I am so sorry. This does not work with this camera, and my other camera is running out of space, so we're trying to make do with what we got. But so I'm going to turn the camera around, and I want you to see. So every few days I collect the tomatoes. Sometimes if there's a bunch of them, I might do it every day, but not usually. I'm going to try and block the wind so that you can hear me without wind. So I try to do this every couple days, but I'm just gonna take you through and sort through the bags that I have already put in. This was a few days ago. I put in not completely ripe tomatoes. So I'm just gonna go through with you so that you can see kind of my process and what I do. Okay, so here you see I just have this crumpled up Aldi bag. And if we open it, you can you see my tomatoes down in there? And we have, look at that, beautiful. Now there's a scar on it. I like that though. That's what I love about heirloom tomatoes. Those just look scrumptious to me. If I wanted perfect tomatoes, I'd buy them from the store. But putting them in here helps keep them from cracking open and bugs getting in and laying eggs. So that's a beautiful tomato. That goes in the bowl. This one is also beautiful, but I'm gonna give it another day. This one's perfect. Look how deep of a color that is.
I love this one.
Well, that one's gorgeous, Jed.
Yep.
And these two paste tomatoes are great.
This one looks good.
These I could technically use, but I'm not going to. I want them to really finish ripening. So, next. Oh, ooh, there's a spider. Spider. Get out of there, spider. Oh, I'm so sorry, spider. Oh, I didn't mean to kill it. I killed it. Darn it. This one was damaged when we got it. It's kind of wrinkled. We might not use this for canning, but use it for fresh use. Anything that has like a wrinkling to it, I usually won't use for canning. I use those for fresh use. But look at the beautiful color on these. They are just gorgeous. These could really even go deeper red, but I don't want them getting to overripe. Okay, now I have a few left in here, if you can see that. I don't know if you can see that or not. It just looks like a big black hole on my screen. Oh, there we go. So I'm gonna combine the first and the second ones since they're both requiring a couple more days. Again, let me grab that camera. See how they're in a single layer. Now, they'll still ripen if you have them in double layers, but you're going to run the chance of rotting your tomatoes if they're rubbing up against each other. Okay, I'm in the kitchen with my big bowl of tomatoes, and I am going to put these, I'm going to put an X at the bottom of the tomatoes. I'm going to put them in boiling water. I'll show you all this. And then I'm going to slip off the skins. After I do that, I'm going to just, you know, kind of chunk up the tomatoes, and then I'm going to put them through my KitchenAid grinder. Now, they have an attachment for the KitchenAid grinder that attaches to the front of it, and it's a sieve for fruit and vegetables. I don't have that because my grinder is actually an older grinder. It still works on my KitchenAid, but they don't guarantee that the new sieves, or sieve, I guess it's sieve, will fit the new grinders, or the old grinders, sorry. And so I am not going to buy a new grinder. That just drives me bonkers. So I'm just hoping that maybe my husband, who is listening right now, might buy me one for my birthday. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut the bottoms of the tomatoes. I'll just show you really quickly. Just a simple little X just a X, cross, whatever you want to call it. So see? And then I'm going to dip these in the hot water. It's just enough. I'm not trying to cook the tomatoes because passata is a tomato puree without the skins or the seeds. And so what advantage is passata? So a lot of people will just go ahead and can the food right off the bat. I've noticed that from year to year, we change on what we're cooking. And so there are some things that are solid. We need loads of salsa. So I have like, I don't know, 15 to 20 quarts of salsa already canned and put away. So passata helps us to have a base to make whatever it is that we want. So like, there are things that I know for a fact that we want. Like I said before, the salsa. I have a video that we will post down below where I make, every year I make loads and loads of tomato bisque. I don't need passata for that. I need passata for pizza sauce is slightly different than spaghetti sauce. If I would like to cook passata down, I can make different things from that have tomato bases that I don't actually have to decide when I'm canning what I'm going to be using that for. And passata is made from raw tomatoes. So you don't really cook, there are people who cook them. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to slip off these skins through hot water. We will grind them and I'll put them through a sieve, or you can put them through, like you can manually put them through a sieve, you can put them through a food mill, or if you have the KitchenAid sieve too, you can use that as well. And then it'll just come out like the meat. If you feel like your passata is too watery, then you might want to cook it down. I like the raw, no matter how watery it is, because I'm only going to use a little bit of brandy wine, but I am mostly using San Marzano paste tomatoes. So those shouldn't be uber watery. Again, if you have to, like, there's no rules, you can do whatever you want. I'm just going to have just tomato puree and some citric acid. So I don't actually have like the powdered citric acid that Ball sells. So I'm going to put some lemon juice in it, but we're going to go ahead and do this. This is about 20 pounds of tomatoes. So I'm going to go ahead and slip off their skins, and then I'll show you what it looks like when I run it through my KitchenAid grinder. Okay, so you see we have a good boil going, and I'm just going to plop those down in it. Again, they have been cut. I'm going to grab some more, and I'm going to cut those as well. Some people will put them in an ice water bath. I don't, to stop the cooking. I just don't think that they get hot enough all the way through to warrant that. So I'm just going to leave that in there for a few minutes while I cut more tomatoes. You can already see that they're starting to try to split. So the hubs is going to bring me some ice, because I am going to go ahead and do the ice bath. And one of the reasons why is because if you cool it really fast, it will actually help those skins slip off a little bit better. Some people will cut these and roast them, and that happens too, but I think that kind of cancels everything out that we're trying to do to make sure this passata is raw. Okay, you can see that the skins are actually starting to come off of this one. So let me make sure you can see that. See how they're starting to peel off already? So I'm going to go ahead and we will put these in ice water in just a moment when Chris gets back with it. Okay, I have those in a water bath now while this second batch is boiling. And if you can handle these, you can go ahead and while these other ones are boiling, you can go ahead and peel these off. And I like to save these for the chickens. We've spoiled chickens. Okay, so you guys should get boil. Wait till they start peeling back. Throw them in some iced water. Let them cool down. Peel them, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, now we're here with my KitchenAid grinder all set up. I have my beautiful KitchenAid bowl that my mom got me. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I love that. Goes with my pink little mixer so well. But so I'm going to turn the grinder on, and then a lot of these paste tomatoes are already the size that they need to be to go down into the chute of the grinder. So I'm going to go ahead and start this. You won't be able to hear me because that's going to be loud. Hopefully Elijah will put some music so you don't have to listen to it. Look at this beautiful bowl full of tomato puree. That is a gorgeous thing. So I'm going to take this bowl and I'm going to put it in my Dutch oven. And I'm just going to bring it to a boil, put it in my quart jars, and then I'm going to water bath can it. You see that right there. Okay, now I'm going to work all of this through a sieve. You do not have to do this. I'm just going to show you how to do it, and then you can decide if you want a little chunkier passata or if you want to have seed-free, pulpy-free passata. First of all, I know this is weird, but I absolutely love the seeds in mine. Seeds always end up being good for us. I know that there's a lot of doctors who say that seeds can help pull like heavy metals and stuff out of your body. I know grape seeds and different types of seeds do that. But you will just, if you don't want seeds and you don't want tons of this pulp to come through, then you will just keep working this through this sieve, just like I'm doing right now. And you're just going to keep, pressing it through. And so you'll kind of wipe the outside of this to get it to go down into the bowl. I'm not worried about that though. And I like to do mine with the seeds in it. So I was just doing that to show you. I know that Italians are probably, throwing fits right now. But I'm going to go ahead and put this on the stove. Okay, I have clean canning jars, 4 of them, ready, cleaned. I also put 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, fresh squeezed lemon juice, in each one. And now I'm going to start pouring the hot passata in each jar, just like so. passata jarred and in my canner. And I am so glad that this happened, and I love it when this happens when I'm actually filming, is that my 4th jar that I swore I was gonna get full, I did not. And there is no need to fret when stuff like this happens, because that's what these are for. So this is just a simple, very cheap dollar store ice cube tray, and we're just going to fill these, freeze them, and then pop them out and put them in freezer Ziplocs. Why do you want freezer Ziplocs? Well, I can tell you that a long time ago I was like, oh, freezer Ziplocs are so much more expensive, and it's worth it. Freezer bags actually are made thicker than the other Ziplocs, and so it does help, you know, not do freezer burn. I would still double bag them just in case, you know, you really want to keep it fresh, but it's literally as simple as this. It's just like anything else. You're gonna fill them. See how hot that is? I would let these cool if you're gonna use your house freezer. If it's an upright or a chest freezer, it shouldn't hurt it, but the little household freezers, I think, shouldn't really have heat in them. Whoops, see? Look at what I just did. And you can spoon some of that out of there if you don't want it to bleed over into the other one. But that will freeze, pop into the freezer. You can utilize this. You can even understand that this was almost about a half of a quart. So my freezer cubes allow about a half of a quart. You just keep that in, remember, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 16 cubes, or about a half a quart. I also wanted to, while we're doing this, I wanted to also give another little helpful hint. So any of you who have these wooden cutting boards, wood notoriously harbors bacteria, and so a lot of people will wash them, and that's a mistake. So it will also bow. My kids, if you can see this move back and forth, my kids did that, and it warped the wood, and so now they know. So how I clean it though is I put some good coarse salt down, and then all these lemons that I just squeezed for our passata, I just use whatever juice is left in them, but then I also use this rind to come in and clean. And I'll use more just to get more lemon juice on there. And I utilize the coarseness of the salt to help clean, and the acidity of the lemon in order to, and you can use limes too. I would not use oranges. I feel like they're not acidic enough and they get sticky. These will not get sticky. I've done this for years and years and years. These won't get sticky, and it makes your cutting board smell so good. So that was just a little tip for you. Okay, well there you have it. We have put our passata on. That's going to be 45 minutes for quarts. And that's at a rolling boil. When you put your cans in, please make sure that you let everything come back up to a rolling boil. A lot of people will start their timer as soon as they put it in, and that is incorrect canning. The reason why you want to do that is because the center of whatever you're cooking should get to a certain temperature, and that's why it's good to follow these things. I used to be one of those people that was like, it'll be all right, but you work so hard to grow your food and then to harvest it and can it, and why cut any corners on that? And so I think that passata is a really great base for so many things. You can utilize it for tomato jam, you can utilize it for pizza sauce and spaghetti sauce and all the different sauces that you need tomato puree for. So it's a really great thing to do. It's super easy. I think that took me all of, I mean, I don't want to include harvesting too, but if I was to include, you know, just the process and canning it, not the 45 minutes. But just that process to get it canned, I think it only took me about 45 minutes. So that is super, super quick considering so many other things take so long. So this is a quick and easy way to put away your fresh tomatoes. And because passata's not cooked, it still has that fresh flavor taste once you're done. If you are using pint jars instead of quart jars, you can lower your time to 35 minutes at a rapid boil. And you want to also, I saw a lot of people suggest to turn off the heat after your time was up and set your timer for 10 more minutes to allow the temperature to come down a little bit slower. That might be wise. That might be wise to go ahead and do that. I've never done that before, but I might before. I've had things that were so hot and there was a lot of, it was very watery, so it seeped out of my jars. So that's a wise thing I think that you could probably do for your passata. Also, you please don't forget to add acid to your jars, because it really will help. That high acid content will help keep it from spoilage. So I hope that you guys are all rounding up your gardens and you're getting out that fresh produce and putting it away, whether it's the freezer, it's in canning, or it's all in your bellies and your nightly dinners. So I better sign off so that I can go do our dinner. So remember, if we can make Italian passata, anybody can. Thanks. Bye.